Well, to further discuss this, I'm joined by Ejike Okpa, Global Affairs Analyst. He joins us all the way from Texas in the United States of America. Well, in your opinion, let me start off first by saying, first off, good morning to you from this part of this part of Africa, Nigeria. Now, in your opinion, the election outcome will actually impact America's global standing, especially considering the contrasting foreign policy approaches of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. What's your take on this?
Oh, thank you for having me early in the morning. It was just 2:40 something Dallas time. The American election or American presidents have always impacted the world. People know what they're going to get with Trump. What they don't know is what they're going to get with Kamala Harris. So every eye is on America, and it's rightly so because of the influence that America has on the world stage. So, with the campaign, everybody's saying what it is wrong with the other side and, what they're going to do. You have to make a distinction between electioneering and actually governing. Until you get to that Oval Office and then you begin to work with Congress, you don't really know what you're going to get. But we know we're tired. I think American election is always unnecessarily too long. We've been on this for almost 2 years. So people are like, let's get this over with and see who wins come November, which is what, November 5th tomorrow. And then, America will be here. The candidates will come and go, presidents will come and go, and then America keep moving on. But I think one thing important is that Americans want a country that is not being burdened by illegal immigration. They want a country that the economy at least is on a strong footing. They want public safety because we can't be concerned with the world if our neighborhoods are falling apart. We can't be concerned about illegal immigrants coming to America and getting support when we have homeless issues in America or social challenges. So, if charity is to begin from home, America is home. And every country, again, in that same order, has to take responsibility for their own citizens. Immigration is what America was built on, and that's what America will continue to be built on. But it shouldn't be a right. It should be a privilege. Nobody is entitled to come to America if they haven't met a requirement, and that requirement means being given the proper visa to come and stay permanently or change their status when they get here or come and visit. Just like people go to other countries and then, do the same thing. If you choose to move from your country of birth to your country of choice, do that based on rights to the respect to the law of the country and not get over there and feel entitled. So again, Kamala is Kamala. She's been a vice president. When she speaks, sometimes she doesn't make sense. Those of us that are on the other side, the Republicans, when we see her say what she said, we just shake our head. How did she even get here? If the Democratic Party were actually about democracy and the nomination was done, Kamala would never have emerged because there are other people in the Democratic Party that would have outperformed her and become a better choice. But she didn't win nomination. She just got selected by default. And that all going to come to light, tomorrow when Americans vote. So we don't know, everybody's sort of cautious and nervous. And then until the votes are counted, and we'll see who emerges. Was it November? Wednesday morning, we'll know that. Or even Tuesday evening, because, the time zones, the Eastern Coast would have voted 1 hour ahead of Texas, and then California, West Coast come behind in 2 hours. So we'll know the result by midnight of Tuesday tomorrow.
All right, but what are the most critical domestic issues that the new president will need to address, and how will their policies impact the global economy?
Well, the almighty dollar, when you look at the world economy, the preferred currency of the world, by design and default is the dollar. So if America doesn't get it right, the world economy obviously is going to have some shock treatment. And, we want people to be able to live a decent life wherever they are. And so we want to, everybody talks about being in a global village. But that global village is still divided by 200 or so countries. So it's not really a village. It's just, a mix of things, a mix of countries with different interests. You now have the BRIC folks, you have the non-BRIC folks, you have the American on the Western side. So until we come together as a people in one, that is striving to have food, shelter, and clothing, because you got to have those things in sufficient quantity in order for you to aspire for that things in life. If majority of people in the world are still struggling about those three basic things, then there's always going to be tension. So we get it right in America, hopefully, that would trigger stability in other parts of the world. When Trump was there, it was one of the strongest economies. There wasn't much of a war. But we see what we have gotten in the past, coming up 4 years now. Hopefully, we'll get a better time, if he comes back. Because, for me, if Trump had won, the second term, he would have been a lame duck president. And lame duck presidents in America usually don't do anything. They just wait for their time to get the glory of having served 8 years. But now that he's stepped out, he comes back, that'll be a non-consecutive, and that he will be the second person in the history of America to have lost an election, come back, and then win it, and then
All right, Mr. Ejike,
whatever he's going to do.
yeah, Mr. Ejike, I mean, sorry to interject, but what are the implications? I think one of the major questions is if Trump wins, he's going to implement the America First trade agenda. What do you think the implications would be, especially for America and for trade partnerships with other countries as well? Please, can you give us an answer in 30 seconds or less?
Well, America's always wanted to trade with, friendly countries. America, though, is not going to want to trade with countries that are adversary to it, that are going to be challenging it. We want to trade with everybody. Everybody wants to trade with America because we are one of the world's largest consumer nations. So it is of interest that countries recognize, that consumption power and want to export. And then at the same time, they're going to have to be open to buy from America. I mean, some of the trade deficit we have with China is China, brings in a whole lot of stuff, but China doesn't buy a whole lot of stuff from us. And there are some other growing countries in Africa. When Trump was there in the first term, Trump was the president to say, we just don't want to export to Africa, we want to buy from Africa. And in that order, he extended the reauthorization period for the U.S. Exim Bank, which is one of the biggest export trade enhancement agency in the world, and increase their lending capacity from 135 billion to 175 billion.
All right.
Nobody's ever done that. So trade is going to be important, and America is going to lead in that effort if Trump gets back in, come next January.
All right. I know I had said that was the last question, but let me also ask you this one again, if you can answer in 30 seconds or less. Donald Trump had said that there would be a mass deportation, especially of non-Americans, if you put it that way. What's your thought on this, especially if he happens to win the election?
It's going to be a tough thing to do because if let's say you have 6 million people and you say, I'm going to start deporting them, I mean, you're going to create the airlines that would take them out. It's going to create a lot of social tension, and that's going to be a lot of tension at the same time on the American economy because these immigrants they live in apartments, they have some money in the bank, there all kinds of things going to happen. So, but there are going to be people that will be deported. Maybe those illegal immigrants who have come in here have committed some crime, but to physically remove them is almost impossible. And then again, you're going to have the Congress. The only way it will happen and happen fast, not all of them might go, is if the House and the Senate are Republican and they're able to move fast and pass the law to say, okay, you have to go, or if you stay, this is the punishment for having violated the rights, American immigration laws to come in here. But they say these things all the time, but then when they get in there, they see those items become maybe not the priority, becomes something to be done because you still need congressional approval to get certain things done. But if people need to be deported so that at least it becomes a lesson for them not to break into America, I support it. I came here legally. I would never have come to America if I didn't have my paper right. That's why I was able to run for mayor, run for Congress, and then do my own business and live legally. See, the benefit of coming to America legally is you avail yourself of all the things America can give immigrants. If you come in illegally, then you'll be hiding. You wouldn't even get the jobs. You may be here making money, but you may not even get the jobs, and you're always afraid. You'll be picked upon, and you can be certain things we do. So I encourage people come to America legally. I was denied visas 2 times, and I got it the 3rd time.
All right.
When I came, I settled in. So thank you for the question.
All right. I mean, it's good to hear from you. Most importantly, well, we look forward to joining you again some other time as we discuss. The countdown indeed is on. Thanks for your time, Mr. Ejike Okpa.
Thank you for having me.